Thanks, Damian Fletcher. Leon the Lioness, big up, bless up. 1 second.
The macroeconomics is fine. The debt is coming down. We have strong reserves. We have interest rates which are starting to come down again, etc. I want you to see graphically what
1 second. Come in, family. Come in. Come in.
Tax measures looks like. These are the tax measures. Every one of the king keeps a new one. Running around the parliament. Let's see how long it stretches. These are all the tax measures introduced by them, Madam Speaker.
Come true, Simone. Mary P. Come true. Charmaine, come true.
Not one of these papers have we introduced. Take it all across the parliament. 17 years.
Michael, come true.
17 years, Madam Speaker, of tax increases.
They need to come down. Come down after the up.
Hold on, family. Hold on. Come in, family. Hit the like button right now. Welcome back to this steady show. Big up to everybody in the building right now. My officer, listen, I decided to forward and talk to the people them tonight because we have a very important show that we want to do. I know they're having a conference up in Clarendon right now, up at Warren Newby place. But listen, I YouTube this name, so who wanna catch the live, they can catch it later. But we want to talk about, you know, the JLP, the successes of the JLP. And we want to talk about the successes of the JLP in its proper context. And joining me shortly is Father Paul. I believe it's Father P.O.W. Is it Father Paul? Are you there, by the way?
Yes, my brother,
All right. Father Paul is in the building. How you spell it? P.O.W.E or P.O.W.?
No, just P.O.W.
Father Paul, everybody that is in the chat, say welcome and big up to Father Paul right now, P.O.W. So let me give you a short history on Father Paul. I had a conversation with this man. By the way, you're live on the air already, Father Paul. You understand me? But we had a conversation yesterday and I haven't released that yet. But I'm telling you, I was very impressed by, you know, Father Paul's passion about his country. You understand me? His knowledge of the politics and how he frames historical, you know, events in light of what is happening today. So one of the things that we will be looking at is, you know, the successes of the JLP today, and we're going to look at it in a much wider context, in a historical context. So we'll be looking at elements from history, and we will be looking at things that are happening in the current. So, Father Paul, it's a pleasure. You know, funny enough for the family. So this evening, I was in a conversation with Father Paul again, and, you know, just the way he was talking, I was like, I don't need to let all this knowledge go to waste, because if we talk again, we might talk on the same topic, but he may not even remember the same points, because Father Paul I'm just pleased with how much he knows about the politics. So right now, let us get into it. I won't keep the man waiting longer. So Father Paul, let's talk about it. The successes of this current Andrew Holness led government. If I'm right about what we were talking about today, I believe you wanted to basically show me that there was a build-up to the current success that we're seeing in the Labour Party today. and Jamaicans ought to be aware of that. Am I right or am I wrong?
Definitely, definitely. So,
Yeah.
the thing we have to realize is that this show
Mm-hmm.
is going to be multiple shows because we're talking about that history.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we have to take it from where it started.
Yes.
This whole thing actually started, and I think earlier I was saying to you that it started back in when Bruce Golden and Audley Shaw, Manor Yard,
Yeah.
were started the thing.
Yeah.
But it actually started a little bit before that.
Mm-hmm.
Because this thing that happened with the NDF, when Daddy Bruce left the Labour Party.
You sound like you're Bruce Golden Labour, right, man? Anyway, I just troubling you. Go ahead. Mm.
Yeah, man. When Daddy Bruce did leave the Labour Party and formed the NDM, it was because of the schisms where some people, you had some people who, them just never want to deal with the thing the right way. Them feel say blinds, and I age myself, you understand me?
No problem.
Them piece of blinds never couldn't win it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is,
by the way, when you say blinds, use proper names as much as possible, because not everybody is familiar with the jargons and you understand the inside terms. All right, go ahead, brother.
So yes. So when we say blinds, we are talking about Edward Philip George.
All right,
okay?
All right, no problem.
Right. If anybody will remember the Glean, remember them articles and the Glean and the cartoons. Every time them drawing, them showing have real dark shades.
Yeah.
Dark glasses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And cause that was his thing.
All right, blinds. So that was where blinds came from. All right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when Daddy Bruce did he was the heir apparent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was the person who was supposed to take over, right? Siaga was grooming him, right? Siaga was the one who brought him in. Now his family are strong laborites. I talk about Tassius Golden.
Somebody in the chat is saying that true, Leandro always do the cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leon the Lioness. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so what happened is that he was supposed to wait his turn. And what happened is that you had some people who were kind of pushing him to say, listen, man, you need to take the thing, man. You need to take the thing. And it caused a little schism because this is not how Siaga deal with things. Some weeks ago, you hear an argument about how Siaga used to beat
Desmond,
right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Siaga is an authoritarian in his own right. Okay? He never deal with no foolishness. And in all rights, you couldn't be a weak person and go run Tivoli Gardens,
right.
Western Kingston. You couldn't be a pushover. You deal with man where we lick your head.
There we go.
Right? So it meant to be a guy who's serious, right?
Yeah.
So because Daddy Bruce never want to wait. He got farming thing.
Yeah.
But when them say 2020, when say thing that is 2020, when them say you look back on things.
Hindsight, I believe it's hindsight.
Hindsight.
Right.
Hindsight is 2020, right? The thing about that is when you look back at it now, it helped to what Daddy Bruce did was to show up all the people who were not really with Siaga. That's what happened with that forming of the NDM. Because what they did is those people cut, and basically...
And people from JLP and PNP side.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Some people left the JLP and went to PNP, and some people went to NDM. Right. And it showed up all of the, undercurrents that were in the Labour Party. And it hurt them for a while. As a result, the people kept putting, the PNP back in power. Yeah. Right. But it helped to clean up the party. Right. So okay. So moving forward now. the thing with Daddy Bruce now is that, okay, Daddy Bruce leave, him do him thing, and him realize, say, boy, listen, this now go cut it. The NDM now get no traction, and it just now go work. And the ism gets so strong at the party that them basically call a truce. Him come back into the fold.
Back into the jail.
Him bring back who must come back. And the people them, you know, like a guy who died a couple of years ago. Let's not
focus. We want to come up to the present.
Yeah.
I want to do this within an hour, so I want to hit the points and then move up to the present, because I know most people they want to hear about that. But go ahead with So him forward back in the jail.
But you see the thing is, you know, and this is you know, Marcus tell us this. Marcus tell us this long time. If we don't know our history,
we're not gonna know about our present and future.
We cannot know where we're going.
All right.
We have to know our history.
All right.
Right? And this is why, you know, even though, you know, we may want to get to the present.
Right.
I will tell you the truth, we don't get to the present tonight.
No, man, you have to give us. We have to stay. Hold on. We have to stay true to the topic, man. So if it's even to fast forward to the present and go back to the history, we want context. We want context for the past. Yeah. Go ahead. But go ahead, man. Continue.
So the thing is, when Bruce came back, right? Them deal with everything, and Bruce pull off the win.
Right.
Okay. Tiaga step aside. You know, Bruce pull off the win, and we're back in. But the things that we're not conscious of, and the things that were overlooked were this whole thing about that just came up in conversation about the Pickers Guild Committee.
Right.
That even though the JLP had the government, they did not have the power.
The PNP had the Pickers Guild Committee.
Exactly.
All right.
They didn't have the power.
Very important.
And because of the 18.5 years that PJ was there, he was able to put people in all areas of government. As a matter of fact, if you think back to the whole thing that started the downfall of Bruce, from the very beginning, there was nothing Bruce could really do right, because you had people leaking the information, putting on the brakes, no matter what he tried to do, because all these people were in place. Okay. Nevertheless, he had good ideas and he had good plans, and they pushed through on many of these things. Okay. As a result, you know, every now and then you hear them talk about, oh, we were part of the present day progress. They were not part of the present day progress as willing participants. When Bruce had to step aside, right, and he handed it to Andrew, the understanding then was that, listen, we have to get some new, fresh blood and fresh thinking. We need to go post-independence leadership, and this is how Andrew got in. Now, some people say Andrew should have ride out the rest of the term, but instead he decided that, you know what? No, you know, I am new at this thing. This is my thinking. My thinking is that he looked at it and he said, you know what? This is new to me. I really never expect to be in this position. Let me try and shore things up by getting a mandate. And he called the election. And in one of the messages in the election, one of the things that he talked about, he had gone to Washington with Nigel Clark, right? And Nigel spoke about it in his interviews, that from way back then, that he went, and when they sat down with the IMF, they said, boy, that will be bitter. So he came back and he told the people the truth. Bitter medicine is what was coming. The people decided, say, oh, no, we can't deal with no bitter medicine. So we'll just go with the JLP, with the PNP. And no problem, Sister P win. And of course, one of the things that many people in 2025 are forgetting They're forgetting WikiLeaks. Let us not forget WikiLeaks.
1 second, 1 second. Somebody is here, yes. Somebody is in the chat saying, I wanted to ask him this question. I asked him if JLP can win the election. So, yes, we believe JLP will win the election, so there's no question about that. Give me just 1 second to big up a couple of people that I have right
Yeah,
now,
man.
and then I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
So, big up to all the moderators in the chat. Mary P, Black Obsidian, Leonie Lioness, Simone, big up to everybody in the chat right now. Ricardo from Canada, big up yourself, same way. Everybody that is there, Jamaica 87 in the building, big up yourself, same way. Family, Spice Girl in the building, Joan Barker in the building, Browning Rasta in the building, big up to everybody. Elements Grill, big up to everybody that is here. Richard Solomon, Don Rowe, everybody. I'll have to say big up to you because I know a conference is going on right now, but we're still talking. All right, Father Paul, take it away. Yeah, man.
Yes.
WikiLeaks, WikiLeaks.
So what happened now is that there was WikiLeaks,
Mm-hmm.
and if you remember WikiLeaks, there's something that a lot of people are forgetting. There are two things that when I hear people talking about Peter Phillips, they forget about something with Peter Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that Peter Phillips was the one who went and signed this M.O.U, which
Secret
is the
MOUs.
Treasonous Act.
Mm-hmm.
Treasonous Act. Why? Because cabinet is the highest body of the executive, and everything that you do must get approval from cabinet.
Just to be
Cabinet
clear,
did not.
yeah, just to be clear, are you saying that the secret MOUs that Peter Phillips signed, the net result of that was what we saw in the incursion?
Yes,
All
and
right.
that is what brought down
Bruce Golden.
Yeah, that's what brought down Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Bruce was standing up against it, he did not know that these documents actually existed. Because cabinet keeps minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when they went and they checked the minutes and did whatever, they could find nothing. They went to the Ministry of Justice, they couldn't find anything. And as a result, this is what mess up Bruce. But and as a result, what Bruce ended up doing, instead of pressing forward as much as he could with the agenda of the government, he had to be putting out these fires, that whole commission of inquiry and the whole thing, the Dudos affair, all of that basically drained his energy. He could not really focus. And so that's why he ended up having to step aside and hand it over to Andrew Holness. But Andrew Holness did the wise thing by calling the election.
Right.
Wise because he was as young as he was, and with all of those other senior people in the JLP, he would have needed to get the mandate from the people. If the people gave him the mandate, then everybody who was ready to rise up against him would have to just step back. And so he called the election. They lost the election. Yes, a lot of people were upset about it, but the reality is that it gave him time now to coalesce, see who is who, and let you know what. Since these guys claim that they knew what was what, let them run the show. Let them run the show. Remember, he had already gone to the IMF and knew that it was bitter medicine.
Right.
And that no matter what they had said in the run-up to the elections, it was all going to be proven as lies.
I like what somebody in the comments is saying right now. They say, yet still some people putting Peter Phillips on a pedestal like him good. Like, I don't know what it is about this guy that... I think his PNP love sell Peter Phillips, you know. I don't think it's I don't think it's labor rights or people who truly know their history. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, listen, listen, I am not going to say that Peter Phillips didn't do the right thing in terms of, sticking with the policies that Bruce and Audley Shaw left.
Yes.
He did that.
Hold on, since you decided to go there, I know there's a popular saying. I know that in Parliament the other day, Andrew did say that he wanted to recognize Portia and Peter Phillips' role in helping to, at least keep the economy on a decent track. But we do know that Bruce had a hand in that. I believe that's what you're referring to a while ago. If that's what it is, can you speak to that
Yes.
issue and then get back to what you're? We have to. I have to direct you to get the value out of you. That. Go ahead. Speak to that for me, please.
So
Yeah.
so the thing is what Bruce did.
Hit the like button, people. Sorry. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm seeing 88, only 23 likes. We need more likes. These are important lessons. Go ahead, my brother. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the thing is, what Bruce and Aldershaw did,
Mm-hmm.
all right, and this is always the disadvantage of when you're in opposition.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in opposition, you don't have full access to see what is in the kitchen, whether there's any cupboard, whether there's any sink or whatever. So when they won and went in, them finals say it's just 4 walls. there was no cupboard.
No sink in the kitchen.
Sink. Not even counter never there, right?
Them already did throw the sink at the JLP, so don't sink never did it.
Exactly.
All right, good.
and this is the thing that this helped to mess them up.
Yeah.
Okay, but nevertheless, Peter Phillips did, after hearing, getting the thing, and I guess maybe getting the wind knocked out of him when he went to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He realized that, boy, listen, this is what we're going to have to do. However, Peter Phillips was in a very tight spot because of WikiLeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Because in WikiLeaks, it was revealed that he had told the US that if Sister P win, it would have been a disaster.
Mm-mm.
That is in WikiLeaks.
That wouldn't be far-fetched though, because PNP them do them thing already. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. But then the thing is, Sister P, she hold on upon him and said, no, since I'm going to be a disaster, you're going to be right here with me in the disaster. Right? And so she put him to be the closest you can get to the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance.
Absolutely.
Right? Good.
Wise move, Sister P.
So, Poor Peter never have to just go and suck salt. Right? And him have to deal with the thing the way it was, right? So him come through and him follow,
So this was a classic case of keep your friends close but keep your enemies closer.
True.
All right, go on. True mafia style. All right, no problem. Go ahead.
So she keep him close. And I don't remember how many people remember the incident of when he was planning to tax people, save interest on them savings, right?
I couldn't calculate it.
I couldn't calculate it. And your Sister P said, no, Peter, that wrong. No.
Tampering to Peter Phillips. All right, go on, my brother.
Listen, you can imagine the kind of embarrassment that is. Because you talk about a guy who did on WikiLeaks.
Yeah.
And tell people say she be the disaster. And him can do a simple third grade, second grade maths.
Yeah.
To calculate what this thing was.
The great Peter Phillips.
Moving along.
Moving along.
They, again, it went through the whole thing. I think I sent you some clips.
I haven't gotten a chance to look at anything you sent. Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you some clips from the archives, and I would love if you could come again.
No, I didn't get to look at anything. You're speaking on the phone that those that will be, and then I'm recording on my other phone. I only have two phones, not 3 or 4, like
Not the switchboard.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So I'll review those after. Go ahead.
Well, it would be great, if you're ever able to pull that up. But
I will at some point, but not tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So moving along, they decide they realize that okay, Sister P end up having to call the election based on what our seer tell her, so she must call the election, right? And
come Reds time, come. I remember that.
Here here it is.
Yeah.
Andrew, having seen everything, having gotten some time to put his team together, right?
Yeah.
When they mentioned about the 1.5, them said, boy, that can't happen.
Can't be done, yeah.
And of course, they knew why it couldn't happen. Because once again, the cupboard, not there, no kitchen sink, not there, no counter there. As a matter of fact, this time, them take up all the tile, and them take up all, not even roof, they dip on the kitchen. As a matter of fact, it's an outside kitchen them they use now.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
so of course, them go in and them realize, okay, nothing is there. But what did Andrew have? Andrew had Nigel Clark.
He had the youth on his side.
And Nigel Clark was working with Andrew from as far back as when he had before he became even Prime Minister. Right? They were together, they were working together, they had a plan, and Nigel was busy working out how this thing would happen. Okay. Now, the beautiful part about Nigel is because he held the chairmanship of many of these entities. NHT, he was chairman at NHT. So he knew all of the inner workings and all of the things that these people had been doing at NHT. This was not any right. So he came into the position as finance minister. No, well, at the time he wasn't a MP yet, because he never got a seat until Dwayne Smith father there, Derek Smith. Derek Smith, got ill. Of course, he wanted Dwayne to take the seat. And they decided to listen. We need this guy to take over as Minister of Finance. Now, Mark Audley was there, and Audley had his good run. But they had a better plan. They had a better plan. And so they came in. And
it was a good decision, because Nigel turned out to be the best we've seen. Yeah, man, so go ahead.
Oh yes.
Hit the like button, please. Good history lesson. Go ahead.
Listen, the key about this thing, is love for country.
Yes.
Love for country.
Yeah.
Andrew loves Jamaica.
Yeah.
Nigel loves Jamaica.
Yes.
You're talking that little. Nigel could be anywhere in the world, And a little bird did tell me, say, the way how Nigel get roped in, it was that he was offered a job. Saying, listen, I want you to be CFO. That was the way it was put to him. And him said, okay, sounds good.
Chief financial officer.
Chief financial officer. And he was wondering to himself, CFO of what? And he said, CFO of Jamaica. But in order for you to get the job, you have to win a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rule. It's in the Constitution. To be the Minister of Finance and present the budget, you must be an elected member of Parliament.
Wow.
So, which of course brings us to, all the things that they worked out, even to present day. All of these plans that they pulled off. There was a lot of thought, a lot of planning that went into it. Let us not forget. Let us not think also that because Nigel is at IMF now, him don't have him finger on the pulse.
I knew that all along.
There's a regular consultation.
I knew that all along. I knew that all along. Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, a couple things that I've pointed out over time to different people. When the Prime Minister came to that meeting in the US to meet with the international partners, and people looked on and they were saying to themselves, they even started a rumor saying that he never sent Dr. Chang because Dr. Chang can't travel come to US and all kind of foolishness. What they didn't recognize is that the thing he was trying to solve, people were committing crimes in the country and being able to run off. And the signature that is needed to shore up those kind of arrangements, you can't send no deputy prime minister. The prime minister himself have to go and sign them documents then.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're making deals that, you know, means, listen, if a guy run out, because him do something a yard, we need him.
Yeah.
And during COVID, we saw instances of that.
Right.
If you remember the little youth who did somewhere in the UK, and I run off him mouth on the Prime Minister, and I tell him about SYM and all them things,
Sure.
right? And the next thing him know is that him get a knock on him door in a Scotland Yard.
Right.
They're him door. Because this was what happened. Which is why a couple of weeks ago when you hear mention that if you do something in a yard and you run off, that not gonna work again.
Yeah.
We can hold you anyway.
Yeah, man.
And that's the reason why the recent fella who get hold in Miami, we don't call no names.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why film thing get upgraded.
Yeah.
From a local thing.
Yeah.
To a federal thing.
Yeah.
You understand me? Yeah. So this is all part of the plan, the security, present day, all of what we're seeing right now. This never happened overnight.
These are plans. These are plans that were carefully made. Yeah.
These things have been going on. These things were being laid, and even though they were being accused, there's no national security plan. There is no this. There is no that. Well, look at us now.
I heard somebody say that the JLP stopped sharing their crime plans or the crime fighting plans with the PNP because the PNP never had any interest in reducing crime in the country, and clearly now that the JLP is doing well, you notice they're discrediting the government, but a foolishness that.
Of course.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So you hear Bunting come out the other day and him say, boy, the government is the police doing it. But then the Bunting apparently don't remember what he said.
Yeah.
He was the one who came out crying and I asked for divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
I say, all that the government has done and all that the police are doing, it's not working.
Somebody is making the comment that he went to the Vibe True Health, big up yourself. I attended the Transformation Expo on Thursday, and it was phenomenal. That's a beautiful thing, family. So the JCF is up and running. Great things are happening. Go ahead, my family.
Oh yeah. So all of this is part of a plan. If you again, when I look at this whole situation, I don't look at it in a myopic way or just look at it from a Jamaica perspective.
Yeah.
I look at it from a bird's eye view. I look at it from global. I watch everything that these guys are doing, how they're doing it. And it's so funny because I tell people 2, 3, 4 years in advance of what is coming down the pipeline. And when I tell them said to me, say, that can't happen. I've always been bullish on Jamaica.
Good stuff.
Listen, man, I make sure, my Jamaican passport never expire. Never expire. Because I know that one day, just like the man said, I will sleep with the windows and the doors open. As a matter of fact, if we're not careful, some way, we'll get to the point where some way, and this is a future prediction.
Right.
Some way who now take part with the Jamaica thing, might need a visa to go to Jamaica.
All right.
You understand me?
Yep.
Because remember, Jamaica is not that big.
Right.
And because of the way things are moving up, there's the speed at which things are going. Once they then definitely need the next 5 years.
Absolutely.
Listen, as a matter of fact, if them get the 5 years, as somebody else put it out there and say, the PNP are going to go dismantle themselves and reorganize under brand new thinking.
Real stuff. You remember the lady that I was on the show, I dropped this morning, she talked about it. She talked about the fact that the JLP usually have these big long-term plans. They just need the opportunity the time to do it. And people have to understand things, worthwhile things take time. You see, oh, it took a while before we started to see what would have happened with as it relates to crime. And now we're seeing almost a miracle. The Jamaica, and Bermuda Commissioner of Police, I think, may hear a big up the Jamaica for its crime fighting plans and so on. So it means to say that the both labor rights, uncommitted JLP, PNP, and this is how I like to talk in context. Everybody have to ensure that they go out and they give the third term, because it's going to take time. It's not like the PNP is like the JLP and they're going to come out and continue with those plans. No, PNP culture and JLP culture are two different things. So the JLP must be given the third term, and the JLP people, uncommitted people, well-thinking Jamaicans are foreign and abroad. We have to think about that as well. Go ahead, my brother.
If you look at the history of the elections, right, you'll realize that the PNP have never won based on any performance.
No, sir.
They've always won based on circumstances. For instance, when they won in 1976, well, actually, it was 1976 or 1972. 1972 was when they won the first time. It was because of the oil embargo. Everything went through the roof. The bauxite levy weren't making any much money from that because the price of aluminum went to nothing, right? And they won simply because people, how should I put it? They were looking after the business, but they weren't looking after the little man.
Right.
The average man who needs something. You understand me? This is what this was the JLP's era then. They were building the business, but they weren't looking at. Listen.
Let me ask you a question now. Let me ask you a question now, because the lady that spoke this morning, she also referred to that. Is that when it comes to the PNP sell themselves as the grassroots party.
Exactly.
They love the poor. Then the JLP, they look at the bigger picture. Yeah?
Yes.
So I can see why somebody like you would say JLP, because they look at the bigger picture. But the thing is that the little man who is hungry and so on, he doesn't always see the bigger picture. The question I want to ask is that a mistake that the JLP is making today? You can answer yes, no, give a line on it, and then you can go right back to where you were.
No, they're not making that mistake.
They're not to any degree whatsoever. It's not the same. They're not making that mistake. All right, good. Let's move on. Tamarind. Well, continue where you left off, sir.
Listen, as a matter of fact, right now, it's like Andrew take the whole of them playbook, right? And a pure poor people might deal with it, right? And they can't take it.
Yeah.
Because these poor people that they so love, right? They love them so much that they keep making more of them.
I know. But if you love something, you keep producing more.
Poor people.
Well, you love something, you keep producing more. You know? You understand me?
Exactly.
If you love orange, you plant more orange, you know? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So because they did that, because Andrew now started to deal with poor people. He have the social housing program.
Yeah.
Him hop up the thing pan part, him put up the thing pan the NIS, all these things that he's doing, move up the minimum wage.
So question to you, are you saying that when we hear some poor people still talk about don't go on for them and the little poor people them must suffer, and JLP only look out for certain people and they don't look out for the poor, are you saying that a lot of people are lying, or that represent that large fraction of people that it used to be back in the day? You're saying that it's not like that anymore. But again, you're reeling out the programs, NIS, all solidarity program for people who not registered in the country, so to speak.
Exactly. But you know, if you look at Nigeria, right? And this might sound off topic.
No man,
you have the different groups. You have the Yoruba. Now how you know a Yoruba? Are you a Yoruba man or woman? them dressing the best of everything. Even when nothing now go on for them. This is how them carry themselves. Them carry themselves like them own the city. But you have another guy who is a Nigerian called the Igbo, right? This guy will own the whole plaza. But when you see him stand up when him a push a broom, him a sweep off the place.
Very different culture.
Listen, man, when you ask him, you say, how things? Him say, you know, just a panka, right? That is how a lot of people behave, especially, you know, I had a friend who used to sell insurance in Jamaica. And she used to sell insurance up in the farm country. I talk about way up in the interior where people grow cabbage and lettuce and them.
1 second. Somebody just commented a while ago, the PNP, they don't know the use of a government. They think the use of the government, they think the purpose of the government is to give handouts to the people. That's what they've taught them.
But you know what? You know what? If you think about it, if all you want to do is win elections, right? Handing out to the people works because the people only expect to see you around election time. And during that time, you give them a chicken. Wow. Well, as a young youth did say, them not eat 3 piece no more, only 6 and 12 piece, and $10,000 liquor done in a 2 swig, right? Wow. That's what the young youth said.
Hold on, you say something. I don't want you to rush that point. You know, you hear what the man say a while ago, people. The man said PNP people, they do not expect to see their representatives, them MP, them or whoever, until election time when it's handout time. Now, that makes perfect sense, you know, because them PNP only want to win election. Basically, that's all they want. And then the people only want the handout. So it's a real toxic marriage between PNP and people who vote for PNP.
Oh, yeah. And as a result of that, you see, and this is where the other, what you call the crinkle in the JLP's armor is. People who are labor rights.
Wait, explain what you mean by crinkle in a JLP. This is not a literature class in the bars. A regular Jamaica people. Talk about crinkle in a JLP armor. Explain that.
So the weakness in the JLP is this. Yeah, the weakness in the JLP is this.
The weakness, right.
The weakness is that there are JLP have a lot of what you call sleeper JLP people. Them are undercover JLP people. Right? It come like, you know, there are certain parts of America where you have some undercover Jamaican. If you don't hear them accents, let them say, give me 3.
Give me 3.
Or, 3. Or how much for the apple?
How much for the apple?
Right? You not gonna know say them are Jamaica. And this is in certain states, right? This is how them behave.
Yeah.
No.
What? You can't call it, man. New York, Florida, California.
No. New York. No, listen. Florida.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. It's a multiple choice. Yeah, go ahead.
No, man. Florida is King Santo. You understand me? You drive through, you know, say they're Jamaica, same. You go Flatbush and Brooklyn and the Bronx, you know, say they're Jamaica, same way.
Yeah.
It just snore. Right?
Yeah.
But there are certain other parts of the country, Jamaicans are there, but they will never advertise them. They wouldn't even put a Jamaican flag nor Jamaican colors on nothing. That's just how they are.
Why is that so?
People, I don't, you know, I've been trying to figure it out. I'm wondering if it is. I don't know. Maybe because them outnumbered, you know. But
I don't know. They don't want other bad mind Jamaicans to recognize them, because you know Jamaica bad mind anyway.
Well,
anyway, that's a part of it. It's alive and well. All right, continue.
Yeah, you need to drop that tune there, over it. You need to drop that tune there.
I know.
Cue it up.
Which one? Which tune that there again? Which one of them that? I will leave a bad mind out there, no. All right, if you want to keep up a bad mind, sure, we find one. Bad mind, get the
Yeah,
best
man.
on him.
You
All
want
right.
the elephant man bad man.
Okay, elephant two bad mind. All right, hold on, we find.
You know, so that's the thing that we suffer from. So the thing with the JLP now is that because you have these people who are sleepers, what happens is that as long as they can, JLP people tend to want to work out their own way. You just give them the tools, and they will make a way. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem with the PNP is that the PNP don't know how to give you any tools to make a way. So
Very
JLP
true.
people will always suffer.
Very true.
PNP people, on the other hand, will not suffer because they're living at a level. Most of them is two types of people in PNP. You have those who are at the very bottom, and those who are connected. The connected ones.
Hold on there. Green up the chat now, hit the like button right now. All right.
Yeah, right.
No bad mind thing. All right, go on, my brother.
All right. So the thing is that you have two types of PNP. You have the PNP who just want a handout.
Yeah.
And you have the next set of PNP who is connected. They're connected to the top. Oh. They move around with them always into so-called education and.
Hold on there. You remember a PNP who when the Nutribun and whatever they did a give out or whatever, that PNP decided to open a school. When I ask you, but ask if you know about such a PNP.
Listen. I will tell you this. That is first-hand knowledge that I have. Yeah?
First.
Open a basic school.
Yeah.
Because back in the early 70s, in the late 70s when things did really tight, the only way to get some milk powder, some cornmeal, and some bulgur rice is that you need to have a school. And him simply just close off one part of the shop, build some desk and some chair, and put up a sign. And the next thing we know is a truck drop off milk powder, cornmeal, and bulgur. Okay? And in reality,
Jesus!
Team family now go them hungry.
PNP a criminal, you know? Yeah.
Listen. Well, I'm gonna tell you, you look back on them things, and you say to yourself, man, what a system.
Dangerous people, them. Dangerous people.
No, the thing with the JLP, is that because most JLP people, you have those who are out and about, right? And they wear them colors and them bowl with it. But you have the next set of JLP who him undercover.
Yeah.
And listen, man, the only way, as a matter of fact, in 2016, for the first time, we saw, and in one of the clips, you will see, well, no, I didn't send that clip to you. But when the election was won by Andrew Holness, hours leading up to that, Kingston was like a ghost town. Everybody seemed to be at 89 Old Road.
Yeah.
And
because they thought the PNP would have won.
Well, everybody was nervous. They didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going to happen.
What was going to happen?
Right. Remember also that when Portia called the election in 2016, she was under the impression because her chairman did tell her, say, yeah, man, you can't lose.
Her chairman.
Right. Him tell her, say, she can't lose.
Yeah.
And so she called it.
My goodness.
And then them lose.
My goodness.
You understand me?
Yeah.
And when that happened, it was like, wow, how did this happen? But it's like the JLP, they sent out that tweet, and there's a aerial photograph that was shown of people heading to Belmont Road. all roads leading to Belmont Road was a sea of green. And when I looked at that, I realized that, okay, it seemed as if though, but then again, you could look back to 1980, when Seattle won, once again, yes, there was a sea of green, everybody was elated, cautiously, because there was so much violence going up to 1980. But by 2016, the violence thing was kind of put aside. You know, we had a different set of people now, and, you know, we're talking about how many years.
Thank
you know,
God.
people were not really too much into that.
Thank God.
Things had simmered down, you know, quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, okay, so they won. What they didn't see, and I tell you, I remember when there's a clip out there with Terencia Morrison.
Yeah.
And she was in the Senate.
Yeah.
And she made a talk, say that they're going to turn 89 Old Hope Road into a museum.
I remember that.
Right? And it was funny because she made that talk, and the next week, I think it was Samuda, who somebody was questioning him about something. I think he was leader of government business. And he said, you know what? When the next election call, half of you will not be over there.
You get the lion for that one there. All right. Go ahead.
In 2020,
It
proved itself. That, they were, half of them was gone. They had, remember that, it was 32, 31.
Yeah.
And I think we had picked up maybe 2 or 3 seats through by-elections. Yeah. Right? And half of them were gone. It's only 14 them get.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, it was true. So, when I hear them say, boy, this time around, them will look for, leave them with about a half dozen. I mean, I really disbelieve them, you know.
Yeah.
I not disbelieve them because we did it before. And we can do it again.
Hold on there. Remember?
PNP, me now vote because Andrew Holness and the best in Jamaica.
All right.
There you go.
We have to remind the people. We have to remind them. Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, man. And you know, the funny thing is, the funny thing is that if you remember the what you call it, the voice note where KD did drop how his brothers and sisters were bought.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This was in 2020. We're talking about COVID, right? Yeah. Everything did tight. And in claim, so them get bought. Well, like how we learn how to print money now.
Yeah.
Me don't know. I don't know when would I say this time. He probably got check out. I not call it parliament now, but I think he would have taken it to heart.
And that is
that time when he made the video there.
Hold on. Talk to me, my brother. Talk to me. We have to put look a vibe tonight, same way, you know? Yeah, man. Go ahead.
So looking at it now, 2025, right? Look like we learn how to print money.
Yeah.
Right? We are managing the thing the right way.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, I think the Prime Minister this time around, he has learned. He has learned his lessons from Siaga. He learned lessons from Bruce. He learned lessons from Sister P. He learned lessons from Peter Phillips. So when you listen to him now, the way he talks, he's taking care of the poor. He's taking care of the businessman. Making it easy. If you want to run business, you can run business. Mark you, the thing that most people don't remember is that politicians make policy. And you still have civil servants some of them still from the Pickers Guild Committee.
Hold on. What you say about civil servants? Hold on.
I challenged the business community to set up a civic committee. And it's called a civic committee, but I made sure that it is full of PNP.
I work, you know. We thought we have it queue up, man. You remember that speech there?
Right?
Yes,
And there we have it. From the proverbial horse's mouth. Right? Spilling the thing.
Alone said it.
When them put together a civil society group.
Yep.
It is there to do one thing, and it is packed with their people.
Yep.
To make sure that whatever it is, that if they're not in the government, whatever you desire will not take place. There's a clip out there. Why you find it in your spare time, if you have any?
Spare time.
There's one where Malahoo Fort was speaking to Mark Golden, and she said, the thing that you need to remember is that we are the elected government. Because it seems as if that unless it is done the way how the PNP wants it done, it ought not to be done.
Me not to be a labor right. Me not to be a labor right. Look here. Them people that never be a labor right. Jesus Christ, man. God listen me. God would have seen me.
Talk to me, brother.
No. In February of 2024.
Yeah.
Right? When we basically allow, because the truth is, the government allowed the PNP to win whatever they did in the local government elections. They didn't really campaign.
Why you think that is so though?
Because they were trying to, I think, they were trying to show the people, give them a glimpse of what the PNP plan to do. And what is the plan? If you hear on Dujan, you hear from Craig Oates and all these people that they've been collecting the money, all the money for the municipal corporation, and they're not spending it in the area. They're not doing the things that
I've been hearing that.
Yeah.
With a councillor there down West.
Exactly. And not just there, because in what's his name? The Kingston and St. Andrew
Swaby.
and the whole bunch. Right. Here it is. There is a MOCA investigation going on there, going on in St. Catherine, going on in Westmoreland, going on in Hanover, going on in Mandeville again. And Mandeville, they don't send some people down to prison. Right? But it's like them can't keep them hands off the money. And so by allowing them to have control of those, it's a clear indication, because remember now, local government is where the people will feel it the most. If the market not clean, if the garbage not getting collected, if parochial roads not being taken care of, yes. And so they're letting the people see what the PNP have in mind for them. When they hear all these big announcements of the NIR being at $5.5 billion US, people can't sleep at night, But they think to themselves how much them can get out of that. When they think about all these projects that are being funded locally, because there's no easier money for teeth than local money, right? Because you're not answering to no IDB, nor IMF, nor World Bank. It's just local people, and if you don't have your people then who see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil, then can take off with the bag.
Yeah, man. That's why them have the parish council them run them campaign them and so on. Very unfortunate.
Exactly.
Very unfortunate.
Exactly. But the thing that I see that is on the horizon. On the horizon. You have to remember also that Jamaicans go with this thing of a 9-day wonder, which of course is proving to it's cracking because the IC thing didn't disappear. The parish, the municipal corporation investigations thing hasn't disappeared.
Right.
My man and him 32 thing hasn't disappeared. All right.
So JLP have some weapons. JLP have some secret weapons for them. Yeah.
Everything, the way I see it, everything load up.
Well,
and between nomination day and election day, that is when I believe listen, remember now, it's only 14 of them, right? And now one other 6 of them in the wings. Bring it to 20. Which means 43 of them is not seasoned politician.
Right.
So you see when time we drop, what we're going to drop on them, 43 there, they must scatter.
Yeah.
And you see the other 20?
Yeah.
10 of them at least are going to take with themselves.
Yeah.
No, to seal the thing.
But one before we proceed, we are over the 1 hour threshold right now. I know you did say earlier on that we're not going to get to where we want to. I think we've at least laid some foundation for that. But one of the things, so we're gonna use about we're gonna go up about 5 more minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes. You can, you can drop any more information you want to drop, but if you can frame anything now within the context of the current JLP, the successes we're having now, how it ties into the past, and then hopefully when we forward back to talk on the topic, we can pick up where you left off right now, and then we bring it. Cause I want to bring it up because a lot of people they're more focused on what's happening in the current and how the past influences the current. We don't want there to be we don't want a big divide or distance between the two. Yeah, man. So go ahead.
So the past is that we used to focus on the JLP is a party that is built out of business. Okay, it's a business party about moving forward.
Right.
And they believe that everybody must carry it.
So in other words, they take a business approach when it comes to moving Jamaica forward.
They have a business approach.
All right, go
right? Okay. What they've come to realize, and because Andrew is a student, he was a student under Siaga, he was a student under Bruce.
Right.
He went into opposition as a student under Portia, and a student of Portia and Peter Phillips.
Right. He said that much.
He has learned a lot from the mistakes that all of these leaders have made.
And it's very important.
Yes. You must. There's a saying. While the grass is growing, the horse is starving. So you can't just say you want to grow the grass. You have to remember that the horse still need to eat.
Right.
But him not going to get the belly full that he wants. Because if him get the belly full, he's going to pull out all of the grass and the roots. And then all the way have is dirt. You see? So what they've done, which is why when they were pushing them during COVID, spend the 40 billion before COVID, spend the 40 billion because you have it. Well, they didn't do that. They just give them a little bit, do a thing for the people, look out for the people, try to find the ones who are, almost drowning.
And then you take care of those, yeah.
And gradually, as things get better, as the engine come up to speed now, we're able to do more for the people, right? And that's what the Prime Minister has been saying. The macro is now set. Now we can shift gear.
Yeah,
because after this cruise, we're going to be cruising.
Yes.
This is basically what he's been trying to say.
Yeah.
That he's going to be cruising. But we have to, what we have to do is, we have to trust the process of what he's doing. So far,
But is that a message that we can? How do we translate that message to the people on the ground who are then a patient, and PNP continues to play on their weakness as it relates to, the government now look out for the poor or whatever? How do we translate that message to them?
So let me put it
Because them are going to vote,
this Yeah. So let's put it here this way. Right now, we have a prime minister who is now just become technically leader of the Caribbean by being head of CARICOM. He's now new chairman of CARICOM. What does that say? That says that the other CARICOM leaders see what he's doing for Jamaica and realize that, you know what? We should let this guy guide us. Okay? He has guided his own country. It's not a guy who telling you that, boy, yeah, man, me know if you do the thing, but film thing I popped up.
He's showing the example.
Everybody can look and see the film thing I go on.
He's showing, yeah, man.
All right, good.
Showing.
So we have that as a lead. We have that person as a leader. We have a minister of national security who has stayed the course and is now delivering. Right? All right. We have a minister of health who is delivering. We have a minister of foreign affairs. She has delivered. We have a minister of industry and commerce who has delivered.
Talk to me.
We have Audrey Marks, who just finished as ambassador.
Beautiful move.
Deciding that she want to enter representational politics. Right? We have a team. We have Pernell Jr. doing his thing at Ministry of Labor. And we have the bench is deep.
Very much so.
The bench is deep. We can afford, right now we can afford to change out at least seven players and still win the game.
So
now,
we've
in contrast.
So
in contrast, let's look at the other side. What is
who's gonna tourism?
Let's say we put the other side in.
Go ahead.
Who's going to do what?
That more I say. Who gonna go for national security?
Wait, hold on. What Karen is say? You mean the man who make woman time up with them tongues? And him we gonna put back as Minister of National Security? First of all, him have to win a seat first.
Yeah.
Him have to win a seat first. So, I mean, him is almost like a non-entity.
Yeah.
Damien get a clapping from Action and him is no more. Who are the people that they are putting forward?
Yeah.
Who's going to run? Who's going to run foreign affairs? Who are these people? Yeah. If somebody can show me a credible cabinet,
they are not there.
There's not the people aren't there. And the other people who claim that they can do it, what is the proof? There's a saying, you believe the things that you can't prove. You have no evidence. And the things that you know, you don't need to believe. You know these things. What do we know? We know that the JLP has delivered over the last 9 years. This is after going through a pandemic. The biggest thing that has ever hit the world, not just Jamaica, the world. And they have delivered. We see crime going down. The numbers are mind-boggling that there could be that. Look here, in Maypen, what was that report? There wasn't one murder in Maypen in May.
Wow.
Montego Bay, which was on fire, burning. And see them just go, the police just run a raid and clean up a whole bunch of scammers again. before them even can start, we lock them down. So the truth is, the current government, listen, I said this. Do not make the mistake that was made in the North.
People, I don't hear a lot of people talking about that, you know.
Don't make the mistake. Don't swap black dog for monkey. Because at least, you know, say, black dog, at the very worst, he have teeth and him can bite and he will bark. Right? But what is your monkey going to do? What is your monkey going to do? Him go run, go hide when him hears the thief take off the grill? Or at least the black dog will go bark and wake you up. You can draw for your last or whatever else you have. Right? Or you can climb, go under the bed too. My thing is, let us be sensible. Let us look at where we could have been. When Andrew got the country in 2016, we were not anywhere near this.
True. But we forget. We forget very, very quickly. Yeah? And I want to put this to the labor rights too. Labor rights
that's the reason.
do not,
That's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason. That's the reason why the things were going to drop. Now drop till after nomination.
It's not going to drop till after nomination day. I like it.
You understand me?
My brother.
It's going to be fresh in the minds of the people.
Yeah. I think we've laid a very good foundation for a lot of things. And I know that sometimes we prefer topics that, you know, they're more feel-good topics and they go with the excitement. But you know, like the newspaper, PNP is very good at it. They sell you the excitement, but they don't sell you perspective. And them show here is a lot of information. People, please, we need the labor rights and those who appreciate this kind of content. Make sure that you share this with the younger generation, them, so they can understand. Because one of the things that keep happening, you know, is that the older generation don't teach. Is that the older generation, they don't know the politics or the context of the politics enough to be able to talk to them on a level where they can teach them and show them and make the connection between events in the politics. And then you have a set of youth who them not really have time to listen to it the way we listen to it, you know. Thank God we have a more mature set of people for the most part. But we want you to like these shows. We want you to share these shows. And we're going to talk more on these topics. And then we're going to show you how everything that happened in the past, the impact it has on the current, and things to pay attention to. Because if we don't pay attention to what's happening, we're going to repeat the mistake of 1989. Remember, we were here under Siaga before, on the verge in 1989. And then people make sweet talk and noise and excitement and foolishness. It's almost the same thing you see Mark Golden them do today. So we just ask everybody to be wise and know how to vote. You understand me? I said to you. I'm going to let you make your final statements and we'll be out of here, Mr. Father Paul.
Listen, man. Steady. This song, you remember this song where they used to play? I think it's normally Sunday morning here.
Which song that?
About the young man who took this list to his mother to say how much when him feed the chicken them and him carry the garbage and him do all these things.
Oh, no charge.
His mother.
The one about the Shirley Caesar, no charge.
This is what we must look at. Let us look at what are the things that have been done. When we're talking to other people and we're trying to get them to understand, this is not about promises. This is about what we have done, what the government has done. Are they fixing the roads? Yes. We were promised pothole-free roads in 2003.
Pothole-free by 2003.
Right? Yes. We did not get.
PNP can chat, but they never do nothing. Be a sweet chat, then, you know.
Exactly. Pure sweet talk. Pure sweet talk. So people need to pay attention to what has been done. If a bird in the hand, I think it was
it's worth two in the bush.
Who say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, right? And your Black Obsidian say, if at least your dog is a competent dog, keep the dog, man.
Keep the dog.
Keep the dog.
Yes.
Don't swap. No, you don't need no monkey.
All right.
It's not a circus. It's not a circus.
Father Paul, we have a lot more. We have a lot more to talk about. But we're going to call it. Everybody, put big up Father Paul again. I believe it's been some great lessons. You understand me? I don't know if you have any final word or those are your final words, but we're going to cut it right now. You understand me? So
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
That's it. All right. Family, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You understand me? I said to you, let us continue to spread the good message of the JLP. Make we love Jamaica. One love. Hit the like button. Father Paul, thank you. Bless up. Bless up, family.
Nice like Jamaica, rosewood fruit and banana. Under the tree with a glass of lemonade. Jumping at the river when me ready for play. No boy can buy me out, me no foreign minded, no way compared to Jamaica. Jamaica.
Bless up, family. Thank you for joining. Have a great night.